Good day everyone. So in this video, I'm going to tackle about chapter 11, rules of the internet and the World Wide Web in education. So allow me to introduce myself. I am Regina Gaspersaris and my topic is all about communication tools and application to education. But before that will be the following are to be discussed. Overview of the internet, netiquette for teachers, types of communication, and different communication tools. So here I have one quote, motivational quote. So according to George Couros, technology will never replace great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, it is transformational. So what I understand is technology alone cannot replace the value of a or role of a great teacher. However, when we use skillfully by this educator, technology can bring about remarkable changes and enhance the learning experience of every student. So now let's move on to the first question of this video. So we have here number one. Due to COVID, teacher John have been doing online class. He made sure to take into consideration the proper behavior when communicating with his students online. What code of behavior teacher John shows in using the internet? Is it A, consideration for teachers, B, code for teachers, C, chatiquette for teachers, or D, netiquette for teachers? So I have here highlighted the word proper behavior when communicating with his students. So is sa question sad, we have here uh, what code of behavior daw Teacher John shows in using the internet? So what comes in your mind if a proper behavior and in using internet? So it can't be consideration for teachers because it's so like layo ra siya, and then code for teachers somehow, but then again it's not. Next is chatiquette for teachers. So here in the question I haven't mentioned any chat word in here. So the answer is netiquette for teachers. So why is it netiquette for teachers? So allow me to explain further. So netiquette is a proper behavior when communicating in the internet. So as what I've said, and it is the answer for number one. So this will help both personally and professionally to gain respect and courtesy. So in using the internet, there should be a proper behavior for you to gain professional respect and courtesy to other people or to for your students or to your students, I mean. So internet is introduce a lot of development, especially in how teachers and students communicate and connect with each other. So we're talking about education and internet. We're going to relate the internet to education, which here it shows that having the internet, students and teachers can communicate and connect with each other, even if they are far from each other. So that's the use of, that's the basic use of the internet. So here I have the netiquette for teachers. So netiquette for teachers, a proper behavior for teachers. So for them to gain a professional respect from their children or from their pupils. So this is a lot, but let's just summarize this. Because first we have be honest and polite, of course. That should be the first one. Next is think carefully. Think carefully before you click or think carefully before you message or type anything in the internet. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I'm having a trouble in my
Connection.
so again, think carefully. So think carefully before you click. Think carefully before you message or type anything on the internet. Show respect to even if they are not in front of you, even if it's not um, in person. But still, you need to respect through analyzing what your proper behavior should be, and also always be careful. Use proper capitalization, correct grammar and spelling. Of course, you're a teacher. Um, you need to be a role model and using the internet. Next, don't type in all caps. So there's a deeper meaning in using all caps for us, because somehow other people would misunderstood or misunderstand if you use all caps in typing. It could be they will misunderstood that you're angry, somehow like that. Next is limit the use of emoticons. Of course, there should be always a limitation for all. Like, you need to be also set a boundary between you and your students, you as a teacher. Next is only forward someone else's email with I when permission is sought. Of course, there should be, you need to ask for permission before forwarding their email to other people. Next, if you need to keep a copy of an email, then carbon copy or blind carbon copy it to your own email address. So there's a way that you can keep your own copy in your email, and it is the carbon copy or blind carbon copy. Next is make your message brief and concise. Of course, be more clear on what you're going to meant or what you meant on your message. So next is give them your message a meaningful subject or heading that reflect about your content or message that you're going to send. So here I also have a lot in here. Next is um, include a signature line at the end of your message. It could be your contact number, or it could be your address, or somehow for the person to be able to contact you if it is needed for them to contact you. Next is install good virus protection software, of course. Discourage boring responses like yes, I agree, okay, somehow like that, because it might bring bad vibes. Next is avoid chain mails. Avoid sending a lot of emails. Next, if your message concerns only a specific person, send it to the intended person directly. Okay, give credit when it's due. So we know that all information might be free and the internet, but we need to give credits to the person who make those. And then next is stay on topic. Don't post irrelevant links, comments, thoughts, or pictures. Of course, don't go beyond the topic or somehow out of the topic, because it might bring awkward situation or uh, confuse to your students. Next is the before asking a question, check the FAQs or research the internet. So before asking anything, first search it in the internet if it is easy question to be answered easily. And so that you won't need to ask them. So next is check the most recent comments before you reply to an older comment. Of course, read the whole article or message before giving comments. So these are the traits or the behaviors that a teacher should have to be um, to have an etiquette as teachers in using internet. So next, number 2. Teacher Micah is an early childhood educator in Mambaling. While at home, she received a message of having to attend an important meeting tomorrow and will not be able to have class. So teacher Micah communicated to the parents of her students through online chat. She informed them of her schedule and will not be able to meet her students for tomorrow's class. What type of communication does teacher Micah use? A. Real-time communication. B. Synchronous communication. C. Chat communication. Or D. Asynchronous communication. So, we have highlighted here, communicate to the parents of our students through online chat. So, letter A is not applicable in this question because real-time communication. Next is synchronous communication, and then chat communication. It's not also right. So the answer is letter D, of course, asynchronous communication. Why is it asynchronous communication? So let me discuss it further in here. So in communication, using the internet is enhanced between students, and because they can share information as well as discuss a particular topic or subject. Um, Communicating to other students or to your students will be able to have a common goal or common discussion towards a specific topic or subject. So communication can either be asynchronous or synchronous communication. So when we say asynchronous communication is a type of communication where the person communicates anywhere and anytime. The person should not be online to receive the message. So next is synchronous. Synchronous communication is a type of communication where the people communicate in real time. So that's what I said earlier, that real-time communication is not the answer for number 2, but asynchronous, because teacher Micah wants to inform her parents of her students that she won't have any class for tomorrow's using an online chat. Next is number 3. There are different communication tools that an internet has. Meanwhile, teacher Natalie used to send her school-related works and tasks for students through the oldest and most common communication tool that for her is the easiest tool to use and very reliable. So what communication tool does teacher Natalie use? A. Email. B. Virtual meetings or webinar. C. Tweets. Or D. Text messaging. So I highlighted here oldest and most common communication. So to think what is the oldest way of communication tool that's in here in the choices. So the answer is letter A, email. Of course, email is the oldest. So let me discuss it more further. So, but before that, communication tools. So it is the tools that can be used anytime. It is the communication tools that we have in the internet. So example is email. So email is the oldest and most common communication tool that is easy to use and very reliable. Through email, message are typed, sent, stored, and retrieved. So we know that before sa wala pa tayo internet, we have this thing called email, which is deliver sa mailman. So in that way, it is the oldest communication tool, even if internet that time is not was not existed yet. So message can be sent to multiple addresses and can be forwarded to other recipients. So application of email in education. So here teachers can provide feedback to the students. A teacher can choose, it's either they'll be going to provide feedback to their students in email or like in chat, but nowadays we still have teachers who send their school works through emails. So number 4, teacher Sheila wants her class to have a social interaction, especially with her. So she allows all her students who cannot recite in the face-to-face discussion can use this to join the discussion. What communication tool does teacher Sheila use? Letter A, email. B, text messaging. C, discussion board or forum. Or D, virtual meetings or webinar. So the answer is letter C, discussion board forum. So of course we have here the highlighted face-to-face discussion. Can use this to join the discussion of teacher Sheila's class. So what is discussion board forum? So ang kaning discussion board forum can create social interaction for students and allow all students to have a voice, to open their opinions, to tell what they are thinking or what are their thoughts about the discussed topic. So application of discussion board or forum. So it allows to voice out their opinion, as what I've said, and students who cannot recite in a face-to-face discussion can use this to join the discussion so that they won't be shy and they will still have a grade for the recitation. Next is rules in starting a discussion in discussion board or forum. So of course we need to have determined the topic of the discussion that we're going to discuss. Next is teacher post a topic or thread of discussion for the students to have an idea of what they're going to talk about or we're going to tackle. Next is encourage students also to respond to the discussion as well as to other students posting. Summarize key points that need to be made. Do not be a lurker. Never engage in a heated exchange of discussion or a flame war. Respect other ideas and opinions. In case you disagree, maintain respect. So all in all, you just need to be more logical on what is happening on discussion board forum. So you need to be respectful to others, even if they have a different idea or opinion from your part. So next here, number 5, Sir Dilima assigned her students. Sir Dilima assigned his students to write an online journal that is accessible publicly based on any issue in their community. So he let his students post their opinions, make feedbacks, and in the end it can serve as their online portfolio for his subject. So what communication tool does Sir Dilima task his students to use? A, text messaging. B, creating a web page. C. Publishing on a web page, or D. Blog. So in here, I also highlighted online journal that is accessible publicly. So text messaging, is it an online journal? No. Creating a web page, it could be, but in still no. Publishing on the web, it could be, but letter D is the correct answer. So correct answer is blog. So why is it blog? So blog or a weblog is an online journal that is publicly accessible. So application of blog in education. Blogs can be a source of information. It can serve as project site where students and can post your opinions, feedbacks, and also um, serve as an online portfolio, just like what I've experienced way back in my senior high school days. Our professor made us do a task of making a blog about a what is the issue in our community, and then we post it there, and then some of our classmates can openly comment their opinions or feedbacks in my blog. So next we have number 6. Teacher Comes has been providing his students the opportunity to decide and write or co-write information and knowledge together with him through this web-based communication tool. So what communication tool the Teacher Comes has and his students use? A. Mailing list or list serve. B. Wikis. C. Creating a web page. D. Chat. So it is kind of like somehow sa highlighten the part co-create information and web base. So murag maklaro na no nga ang answer kay letter B, Wikis. Why? Kay ang Wikis it is a distance learning, can be a new normal thanks to its convenience and ability to make lesson borderless and more engaging. So ang kaning Wikis, ang application aning Wikis sa education kay ang student ug ang teacher kay pwede sila maka-create together a new knowledge or information. So co-create knowledge with the teacher. So provide student information to decide whether the information they're getting is relevant and accurate. So next, rules in starting a wiki. So do not post personal information or the information of someone else. Of course, if you're dili pwede mo post sa imong personal information, of course you should not post someone else information. Next is write information that are reliable and from credible sources. So it should be not a false information. So it should be a accurate and could be reliable information. Next is do not delete the work of others deliberately. Of course, you don't have any rights to do that when you're starting a wiki, because ilaha man sa to. So you can't just delete their work. So here we have a mailing list or list serve as one of the choices in the previous question. So mailing list or list serve is these are programs that store and maintain mailing lists. It is a virtual email group of people gathered together through subscribing to one email address. So ang application of mailing list or list serve in education kay, and it can send an email to everyone on the group. So like more it's easier to use mailing list if you're a teacher. uh, like it is more useful than the email if na kay ganahan nga i-send nila by group pa ron. So it won't be a hassle or dili na kapwek nga itagsa-tagsan imong send kay ang mailing list is a virtual email group of people that gathered together on the same email address. So next is tweets. So what is tweets? So tweets are text-based posts that can be up to 140 characters that are posted within a person's profile page. So Twitter uses a hashtag, which means a topic with a hashtag symbol, such as, for example, this one, the hashtag EdTech. So application of tweets in the education. Teachers can create classroom hashtag to be used for discussing specific topics. Students can also research hashtag for research. So of course, in searching a specific hashtag, it should be um, it should be specific to what you're going to search for you to be able to see from tweets of what you're going to of what you are looking for. Next is number 7. So teacher Jovi is having a synchronous lecture, and in the virtual meeting, teacher Jovi shows a presentation of slides, discuss information in real time, share audio and other application to her students. So what communication tool Jovi use? So A, wikis, B, discussion board forum, C, virtual meetings or webinar, D, video conferencing. So the answer is letter C, virtual meetings and webinar. Of course, we already experienced this as showing a presentation in a webinar and also discussing some information real time, share audio and to other students. So what really is a virtual meeting or webinars? So a webinar, or short for web-based seminar, is a presentation, lecture, demonstration, workshop, or seminar that is done over the web. So we have done this a lot of times already, and we know that in the webinar we shows a presentation or any audio or videos for our in relation to the discussion that we're going to make. So in this kind of virtual meetings, you can show presentation slides, share audio and other applications, give, receive, and discuss information in real time. So application of webinar in education. So I have here flexibility. So students may join the seminar anywhere or may access the material anywhere and anytime, as long as they have internet. Invite resource persons. So a resource person may be invited to give a lecture without the need to travel because it is done online. Excuse me. Next is number 8. Lynn is looking for a job as teacher in an educational institution. She managed to find a few job hiring through this page, as many school creates this kind of communication tool to let people know more about their background and hiring. So what communication tool did many school use to create their own background information? A, publishing on the web, it could be. B, chat, he creating a web page, or D, text messaging. So I have here highlighted many schools create this kind of communication tool to let people know more about their backgrounds and hirings on their schools. So And so the answer is creating a web page. What is creating a web page? So creating a web page, many schools and teachers themselves have their web page so that other people will know more about the school or you in a particular. So you will know about certain information about the school or any hirings that they have through that web page. Next is publishing on the web. So uh, um, you can publish on the web if you have already created a web page. So when students publish their work, they can share with other people the information, projects, works that they have created online, of course. Next is teacher Kevin is having a chat conversation with the parents of his students regarding to the upcoming card day. In communicating with parents, he always put proper guidelines for him to achieve the appropriate purpose of chatting with them in social media. So what behavior teacher Kevin showed? A, proper chat etiquette. B, netiquette. C, proper netiquette. Or D, netiquette. So the answer is letter D, chat etiquette. So why not letter A? Because it's still a correct answer. It's still a chat etiquette. But if we just look at the spelling, it is incorrect. So the letter A is wrong, and etiquette uh, is is also wrong, and then letter C is also wrong. So the answer is letter D. So what is so before we move on to chat etiquette, so let's know first what is chat. So chat is a widely used communication tool. It is easy to use by both the teachers and the students. Chat, of course, in Messenger. We use the chat in Messenger for us to have a update on our education or school works. Next is application of chat in education. So you can provide immediate feedback to one or more students at a time. So of course, um, I know that using Messenger in our using Messenger as a student is very important because some of our teachers connect with us through chat, so they can contact us and have a communication for what should we do on a specific task. So here the chat etiquette. So chat etiquette here, there's a trait or behavior that you need for you to be a to be for you to have to be to have a proper behavior in chatting. So chat etiquette. So always introduce yourself. Be considerate or differing opinions. Be considerate of different opinions. Don't type in all capitals. I also discussed this in etiquette. Type the person's name before you answer. Example, Luis, I agree with you. Comment, but. Next, if you have to leave the chat for the short time, tell others that you will be away or set your chat session to away. So, chat etiquette, don't use sarcasm in your message. It may be misinterpreted. Remember that people cannot see your facial expression in an online environment. So you need to be more like mag-amping. Like, kung unsa imuhang i-message. So just like, dili ka mag all caps or all capital sa pag-chat kay basin ma-interpret. Next is make a positive contribution to the chat. Don't reply to personal requests on main chat screen. And say goodbye when you are going to leave the chat. So last we have number 10. Teacher Jam wants to communicate with her students regarding with their grades. So she used private classroom in which the student she wants to message will be alerted each other. So what communication tool teacher Lynn use? A, text messaging. B, what communication tool teacher Jam use? So B, A, text messaging. B, instant messaging. C, messenger. D, chat. So private classroom is all about instant messaging. So what is instant messaging? So instant messaging, or IM, is a service that allows user to use private chat rooms. Private chat rooms, we all know that kanang namoy privacy kung sa inyong tabian or unsa inyong i-message para kung naagay bati like kamo rin duha makaibaw. So in each other, alert each other when they wish to chat. So with IM, a user maintain a list of people with whom she wants to communicate. Of course, with IM, a user can send files, videos, image, and links to website. So I also have here text messaging. So text messaging allows for instantaneous communication between people that is done with the use of cell phone. So, asa may kalahian nila diri. So, ang instant messaging manggod kay nasiyay gi-specific diri nga makagamit siya private chat room, while text messaging kay ang nara diri kay instantaneous communication sa tao nga gusto niyang maka-chat. So that would be all. So I have here one last quote. And technology and education now go hand in hand. So of course, education nowadays can't really survive without using education, because without using technology. Because technology made everything easier for teacher or for students. So that would be all. Thank you for learning with me. So bye guys.